I can't hear nothing.
I can't hear him either.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rabbit Hole on this fine Thursday evening, July 21st, 2022, with yours truly, Blazeman, Mr. D and Mr. Donnie. As you can see, we have a new set behind us that we are working on to add to our production. I hope some of you fellas like what it looks like back there. And I figured that was a little surprise for you. You know what I mean? How you old boys doing today? Hot up around your areas or what? I know down here it was a pretty hot day. The index brought us up to like 105 or 106 or something to that effect. How about you down there in Mr. El Paso, Mr. D?
We're at 103, Blaze.
So is
So
that
how?
the heat index, bro, or is that just the regular temperature?
No, that's regular temperature, sir.
Damn.
103 actual heat. 103. It's no humidity down here.
All right,
I
so
I
it's dry.
hey,
So the quicker you sweat, the faster it dries. So that's not bad.
yes, yes, just like where you were at in California, but not so hot, you know.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Yeah.
Donnie, what's
Hey,
happening, my brother?
Oh, it's 107 with the heat index. Says it's 100 degrees, and I just know it's hot, man. In Central Texas, it's July. It's hot.
a
Yeah, I
lot of
Go
hear
find
you.
some water, get inside. I don't know, man.
a lot of
I hear.
Drink
steers and
water.
queers there.
Yeah,
Okay, well, yeah, there's all kinds of steers somewhere else too. Hey,
right. I
but
hear that.
it's hot. It's nice, but you just got to look at ain't but like maybe about 45 days or so left, and it'll start cooling down. And this is the price I pay for me to be able to wear flip flops, shorts, and a t-shirt on Christmas Day, and maybe play some golf. So I'll take it. I'll figure it out.
I
Yes,
got you,
sir.
brother. I got you.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Donnie, if you could, would you explain to our audience what the childhelp.org is about?
It's just an organization. I was walking by at a convenience store. They're getting started up here. They're a national thing. They just go around and do fundraisers for kids in orphanages. You know,
Okay,
like this
and
guy, they got a bunch of stuff. They're gonna put it in a backpack. I gave him $20, and that backpack or that rucksack, whatever, a child in the orphanage is gonna get it.
nice, brother. Nice.
You
Wow.
know,
And
so
So
we'll take down a little bit of that information ourselves here in FFN Radio Network, FFN Network. I apologize. Give me another couple of weeks to get used to just saying FFN Network. But FFN Network and Blazeman Media will contribute some money to get a couple of kids some backpacks as well. To that organization. So anybody who is watching the show right now, we got the website scrolling down the bottom. Again, the website on the top, along with the use the code GM98214, and that will give you access to do some things and maybe help out a kid in an orphanage or or in a home there. So I'd like to
Blaze.
thank you for bringing that to our attention. D, you got something to add?
Yeah, no, I just correction on the use code. It's J as in John, not golf. What you said. Did they shave some of your head, your brain off too, when you got that nice looking haircut?
Yeah, I think so. The next trip is to the optometrist, so I can see those letters down there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. No, no, brother, and I'm just,
No,
I
I
know that,
I, I
sir.
get it, bro. I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, but no,
So on go ahead.
no. So no, what I wanted to do, man, you cut me off, man. Fuck the heat, man. It's supposed to be hot. We're like in the middle of the summer. Stop broadcasting. It's
Well,
the end of
hey,
the world.
that's
It's the end
something
of the
that
world.
right. That's something that we're going to discuss a little bit later on in the
No.
show too, right?
uh,
So
Yeah, yes,
yes,
but
sir.
no. What I wanted to hit on, man, was that little clip that brought us into the show, man. That was pretty smooth the last minute, man. And I hope this segment goes at least halfway that good the way that intro was, Blaze. Good work on that, bro.
yeah. Well, we're doing what we can here. And so on another note, everybody knows that President Sleepy Bunker Joe. Is that okay with you, D? I said
Uh,
President first. You know,
Yeah,
President
we're good. Yeah, we
Bunker
checked the
Joe,
block. We checked the block, bro.
all right, that's allowed. Okay. So,
Hey,
anyway, so yeah.
no, because this is going to help you during the CI interrogation, man. If you use the
I don't
word
know what's going to help
president,
me with you interrupted me. I mean, I don't know.
no, but I just wanted to tell you, man. You know, you sound a little slow today.
Nah, I'm all right. But so what I was going to get at is everyone's aware on a Blaze Man and Miss Tammy show. We talked about it Tuesday, and then most of us that watch regular news or international news, whatever it may be. President Sleepy Bunker Joe was down here on the South Coast area at Somerset. And was talking about his old climate change and all of that fun stuff like that. And you know, the news was trying to pick the news was you know, had the camera on about maybe like 6-7 people saying, "We love you, Joe, we love you." And you know, I was blasting out video on the Blaze Man and Miss Tammy show of the hundreds of people that was like, "Go home," you know, all this shit like that. But also during his trip here to the South Coast, you know, he caught COVID. So the president has tested positive for COVID. So you know, I hope they don't blame us down here for you know, killing the president and stuff like that. But on a bigger note, he's got more trouble than what everybody is being told as far as the you know, the mainstream media, if I understand. And Biden sold oil from emergency reserves to Chinese gas giant tied to his scandal-plagued son. Does anybody want to jump on that wagon?
Oh, I'll jump on that wagon right now because I'm gonna give one side that you know, where we're doing by the law, but then I'm gonna tell you the other side. And use is USC, Blaze, not USU. USU. But okay, so that's part of the 30 million barrels that got released from the strategic reserve. 950,000 went to a company in Houston whose parent company is in China. The U.S. and Joe Biden, they played every rule that they're supposed to abide by according to Section 161 of the Energy Policy and Conservation Act. Right? So that's what they did, what they're supposed to do. And the way that process works is we say we're selling 30 million barrels from our strategic reserve. This batch is going to be 500 million. This batch is going to be 2 million. This batch is going to be this, whatever, right? So that batch that went to China was just 950,000 barrels. There's nothing odd about it. They go and they get with the Department of Energy, who then puts it on a bidding site where you get access to the site. You have to register and go through the Department of Energy. Anybody can do it. If you got the money, you can do it. You don't have to be a business, none of that. You can go in there like anything else and bid on oil. So they go through that. Once the bid goes through, the highest bidder wins, right? So happened that batch, the highest bidder was that company out of Houston, and it went to China. That's all it is. We sell oil all the time.
Well, some of it went to India, some went to the Netherlands,
right?
And some was sent to China too.
Right, and that's just part of the deal. They have no control over who it goes to once it leaves the auction, and the Department of Energy is the ones that set up to get, you know, shipment and all that for them to come and take what they bid, what they want. That's the Department of Energy. But that's what I'm telling you. They have no control over who bids, who whatever. They can't go back and say, "Oh no, it's going to someone out of China. We're not going to let you have that bid." They're breaking the law by that Conservation Act right there if they do that.
Donnie.
So,
but Donnie, can I add or interject? So you're saying Hunter did everything legal on this?
I'm saying it has nothing to do with the Bidens at all for that oil going to China. By the way the process works for the sale program that says we sell our oil by that law, by everything, It's no coincidence. It has nothing to do with that.
I
On paper, black and white.
yeah, that's what they're.
I'll call
no,
bullshit on the rest of it, though.
yeah, fuck yeah, Donnie. Oh yeah,
Go
dude.
for it, Dennis. Go for it.
No,
Go for
no,
it.
man. Yeah, they're going to show the public what it's all about. It's a simple marketing system that the government does on all its departments. And Mia
Yeah.
Donnie is very familiar with the DOD, Department of Defense, and
Yeah.
and they all have them. But
Right.
I don't know how Hunter circumvented that because that helped his yahoos out there in China, dude.
Right. But the company's based out of Houston, Texas. So once again, by paper, you are fulfilling the requirement to sell to U.S. companies first.
Let me ask you this.
Right?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Yes. That's part of the requirement when government sells, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes,
in
sir.
CFR.
But the administration roughly sold 1 million barrels from the strategic reserve, which we know is to China's state-controlled gas giant. That continues. They still continue to purchase oil, Russian oil, and move the energy department. From that's what the energy department is saying here.
Right. And yeah, that's 100% correct. But
Hey.
by the letter of the law, they have the White House administration had no say in where that oil went to. They had no say in it. They have no sway on it. It went to a U.S. company based in Houston. Parent company in China, that's not breaking the law. We can't control that. As a government, I can't control all that. So guess what? They didn't do nothing wrong. Do I think there should be better screening systems in place? You damn right.
Hey, Donnie. So, what was the product? Was it crude oil, refined oil,
It was crude oil.
crude oil?
that's-
Okay, right out of the gut, right out of the
Remember?
belly.
Yeah, remember all the
But,
times we were talking about oil before? Half our oil is crude oil going out because we don't have enough refineries to take care
Yes,
of it ourselves.
yes.
Right, but the gas giant out there in China is Sinopec or something to that effect.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
and Hunter Biden has big ties to that company. His
Go,
private
Jimmy, go.
equity firm a partner a 1.7 billion stake in the company 7 years ago. So
And-
Hunters are tied to this company that his daddy just sent some oil over to.
Go, Demons.
No, I'm
He's
sorry.
listed as part owner.
Blaze, let me
No.
let me bust you
No,
up then,
but-
Blaze.
But the email, but does it show the breakdown of the profits and where they're supposed to be directed to?
Well, like I
And
said
no.
just a few minutes ago, some went to India, Netherlands, all that stuff like
No,
that.
no. I'm talking the profits when Hunter Biden was talking to the Chinese folks, and there was a breakdown of the percentage of the profits or whatever they were dealing with, and it makes reference to Joe Biden as the big guy, and this is when he was the vice president.
Right.
Okay,
So
Demons.
no, go ahead, Donnie. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying-
I can stand.
I'm just saying, now you're going down the roll of where he's getting investigated. Right?
Yes.
This is what he's been under investigation for since 2018. So let me go to answer to Blaze and then we'll come back to that. Blaze,
Yes, sir.
we need to stop saying that the White House sold this oil. The White House did not sell it. They have to, in order to sell those reserves, that has to be passed by Congress. So if we want to be pissed off about it going anywhere, we need to get with our politicians because they're the ones that approved it. Joe Biden, President Obama, President anybody just can't say, I'm giving away 30 million barrels and I don't give a damn what everybody thinks. It don't happen that way. It gets passed through legislation. It's not a big bill. It's not something they have to vote on like and lobby on. It's just a simple yes or no vote and it goes to the president for signature. So that's
Well,
we need to stop
according
saying
to
that.
my research, Hunter Biden owns 10% of the company.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Per what the Bidens are claiming and Hunter is claiming, he no longer has stock in that BHR Investments or something like that it was called. He no longer has an activating, compensating role, and that's per his lawyer. He has nothing to do with that company anymore. The company in China, though, Singapac, he's still on the books as being a part owner. That's where, hey, what's the real deal? Somebody explain that one.
Well, Biden's energy department has refused compliance with requests under the Freedom of Information Act, probing the administration's improper use of the nation's strategic oil reserve. I understand they have to go through Congress. Don't fucking mean that they did. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they're asking for this extra information, and it's being refused to be released.
Okay. And that just because you put in a request, it's exactly what it is. It is a request. You are asking for something. You can be told no, or you can be denied. The same thing. It's a request. It doesn't mean it has to be fulfilled.
I agree with that. That's why there's a lawsuit pending.
Okay, there's a lawsuit. Demas, come back to the investigation. What's up, man? I waiting on you.
No. Well, I can we go to the investigation?
Let's go.
All right.
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
No. We were looking at the trail to the oil going to China, the strategic reserve, 950,000 barrels.
They did everything they could. But the administration, I'm just saying, we can't blame that on them. The rest of the stuff with Hunter, though. But what I will say is, how about we change the law when it comes to selling our strategic reserves, and we do a little more vetting before we award the contract or we award the sales? Because that's just, you can't say, like they say, coincidence happens once. Coincidence don't happen 2-3 times. And this is the same process. All of a sudden, there's a big contract going to a company that Biden has ties to. That ain't coincidence. That's the nepotism of our White House.
But
yes or no?
Yeah. You know something, and you hit a key word, Donnie, nepotism. And me and the Blaze Man were speaking the other day about nepotism, and especially this power plant or transfer station that's going to happen in Massachusetts. And I just want to add how this administration, his supporting staff, sets him up for failure. So I did a little horse and pony shows with Donnie in the Army and stuff, how to beautify, a VIP area and stuff. Hot damn. All they had was John Deere bucket loaders in a line, and I understand what they did that for, a line of defense for the president and probably a drop zone for the helicopter. But behind the president was a fucking landfill. It was fucking disgusting, man. There was nothing green about that commercial. I mean, about that visit there to Massachusetts. All right, so we're getting back to where Hunter, Johnny.
That's misinformation. It's not a landfill.
Right.
I mean, I didn't.
Well, look at it. Look at
it may resemble a landfill. You're absolutely right, but it's technically it's not a landfill at all. So,
Blaze, who do you think is the ones that put that damn podium there in front of that big lot that they were digging up?
Oh, no, I agree with you.
Man.
That's right. Hey, look, we have this federal land that, we could do whatever we need to do.
No, that's not the pitch, what you want to say over there, but we'll talk about that another day. Donnie, can you help me get back to where we were at before I got sidetracked?
Yeah. Jesus. We can all agree that Biden's aides are just asinine. I don't understand what they do. But let's get back to Hunter Biden, been under investigation since 2018. And here shortly, they're saying they're on a critical stage of trying to charge this dude with federal tax violations, foreign lobbying violations, and some other type of negotiation type contract. I mean, how much longer is it going to take for somebody to take, I don't know what is the big piece that they're waiting for to go ahead and put some clamps on this dude? I don't understand.
I'm going to tell you.
What's up?
This is the future. it's going to get so ugly for Hunter Biden that Joe Biden is going to have to resign from the presidential office.
That's not
Um,
going to happen.
I really believe it. Um, have you? I know it's hard to listen to President Biden, but have you listened to him? There's not one speech he does thoroughly and clearly, and all he's fucking doing is reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah, we're
I,
aware of that.
I think we should just bring it up.
Yeah,
There's a little problem there. And no, and a good scapegoat for Joe is that, he could say, "Hey, I'm going a little crazy right now. I'm going to resign," and Kamala's going to step in. If this
hey,
Hunter
that's a
Biden,
fucking good point. Holy shit! Go
no,
ahead, go, stay with it.
no,
Go.
if Hunter Biden really gets hit hard with this, and if the federal government does their job, which they say they're doing, because I did see CNN on their breaking news section. It was the first one talking about that storm Donnie was mentioning that the Department of Justice is rolling up right now. But I really see Joe Biden resigning. I really do, because it's going to implicate his dad. It really is. And
Yeah.
what's sad is that Hunter Biden, he didn't need all this money pumped at him when he was a kid. He needed his father to love him, to hug him, to hold him, take him
Oh,
fishing. But no, seriously. So when you see Hunter Biden in videos, you know what he's doing? He's just looking at Daddy Joe and say,
Well,
"Fuck you,
he's
Dad."
trying to hurt his father. D, where the fuck is this
Yep,
coming from?
yep,
You know what I mean?
yep,
Oh, I got
yep.
fucking daddy issues. That's why I smoke fucking crank all the time.
Dude, he's more than on crank, man.
Yeah, he's on a lot more than crank. But now you're saying, listen, I bought into your message about, if Biden gets caught with a bunch of shit that he's up to, he can say, look, take him to a doctor and test him and say, yeah, this guy's got severe memory loss. He forgets what he's doing fucking, I don't know, 15 minutes after he does it. I could buy into that. But the reason why Hunter's doing what he's doing is to hurt daddy.
No, he's not. No, he's not trying. Yeah, he's dude. He's really fucked up. This Hunter Biden dude, man. He needs help.
Well, that's what money and daddy's power can do to some kids.
Yeah, but with other kids and other parents, you don't flood them with money. You flood them with guidance, counseling, fucking grabbing them by the hand, taking them
Yeah,
to this
but
place.
I don't think Joe
I've
gives a
done
shit
it.
about that because there's money to be made, bro.
And
This is a whole different ball game.
and that's why I think Hunter could really give a fuck less about his father and about his fucking legacy.
So
I
because
really
he's
do.
trying to hurt his dad, right? He's trying to
No,
fucking, Dad, you never fucking hugged me as a kid. Oh, and by the way,
well,
Dad, I'm gonna marry and bang my fucking dead brother's wife too. That's gonna hurt Daddy too as well, right?
no,
no.
no,
Okay.
no.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out where you're going here. Again, I told you I bought into
Blake,
where if Biden says he's a lunatic.
The son doesn't give a fuck about the father, man.
Right.
I
But
think this. Go ahead, Donnie.
no, I think what you're trying to say is it's gone past the point of I can hide this and put Hunter away, because Hunter don't give a shit about anything but Hunter, and Hunter's gonna go do what Hunter's gonna go do. That's what
Yes,
Venus
sir.
is trying to say, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
what's gonna get President Joe Biden in the end. When all this comes out and the laptop, now all of a sudden he's in office, it's real, it's factual, we can verify it. But during the election cycle, we couldn't verify it. Whatever, whoever you paid it, whatever agency to keep that under wraps, hey, congratulations, you got through it. But when that laptop stuff comes out, and if it's true about the, sexual photographs with underage girls and actual video of him smoking crack, snorting coke, and doing some of that, everybody's the far left's gonna be like, well, he's a grown man, he's free to make his choice, and they're 100% correct. The far right are gonna
but there are
persecute Joe
videos out
Biden.
there.
But the far right's going to persecute Joe Biden and say, how can this dude be a leader of our country when he can't even raise his kid right? And his kid, can't even keep his kid in check and make his kid understand that what he does is reflection on him. So they're going to bang up Joe Biden, and it's just going to be too much. I mean,
All right,
exactly what I said earlier. He's already stumbling through conversations.
All right, so he's
got
been
COVID
stumbling
now.
through conversations since he's been president.
Exactly.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, Joe, President Biden is sitting home in the fucking White House and gets a phone call and goes, "Oh, sir, Hunter's at it again." And Joe's like, "Oh, Hunter, what did you do now, man?" "Well, Dad, I mentioned your name and some people are going to get some money here and some money there." That's the way that you're portraying it. This is happening.
Well, you never worked.
Without a doubt that didn't happen. Go ahead, Demas.
No, you never worked for an organization where the father was the boss.
And the son did whatever he wanted. Yes.
Yes, and that's what you have here at the
But
highest
you stated
level.
it as
You
it's
have
daddy
it at
issues.
the highest level. Yes, it is. It is. Blaze, when you go to any type of rehab, drug, alcohol rehab, they all go back to the fucking counseling group. And all them feelings you just made mention, you were talking it in a sarcastic way. You hear them fucking feelings in a group counseling, letting your feelings go, letting you know what the feelings. Hunter Biden can play all that right now.
All right.
And
Okay.
and no, and you're gonna get the country split. No, please, Blaze. You're
I'm
gonna have the
listening to
country,
you.
No, you're gonna have the country split on this, man. Whose side should you take? Hunter's side or Joe Biden's side? Because go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope,
Go ahead.
You go. Nope.
No, you got 30 seconds.
29.
30 seconds before we go to break. Okay, so
I'll put my 2 cents in.
all right.
I say to hell with that. He's a grown ass man. He should know better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but when we come back from break, since Hunter's got daddy issues and wants to hurt daddy, then we'll talk about Joe Biden and Hunter's Colombia connections, and we'll see how Hunter made daddy get into this one without daddy not wanting to do it. Stick around for more of the rabbit hole, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around for more of The Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. So our discussion was, before we took our first break of the night, was, oil with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden's got daddy issues, or just Hunter Biden is out there throwing daddy's name around, and daddy President Biden, has no idea it's been done until, somebody calls the president and says, hey, your son is, he's fucking around again. He's getting into bad deals. He's throwing your name around. They're keeping it under wraps. He could have got busted the other night in a hotel. They found crack vials all over the place, whatever the situation may be, But what is still the issue is like what you guys are saying. Is Hunter out there, doing those things, and daddy doesn't know about it? And and that's what President Biden's been trying to say. He's like, hey man, I don't know anything about what my kid's doing. This just fell on my lap the other day, blah blah blah, and now I got to deal with it. You know what I mean? But that's what Joe says, and that's what some of the media backs him up on. You guys are kind of backing him up on that a little bit too. So I just want to throw a little surprise out there with a conversation between Daddy and Hunter, leaked by WikiLeaks. So, and again, thanks for that page, Donnie, because it had me looking for other shit on it too. So let's just take a little listen to that. This is about 24 seconds long.
Hey, pals, Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
So when people say that Joe doesn't speak on to give him a heads up on what's going on, that conversation was about his daddy warning him about the New York Times piece that was about to come on some of the fucking bullshit he's been up to and he's been doing. This article was just printed out July 19th about their Columbia connection. So if ever anybody wants to weigh in on that right now, now's the time to go ahead and jump in.
No, I'd like to jump in real quick, and I just want to bring this back to you, Blaze. I have a question. You talk about President Biden not knowing what his son does. I'm going to paint you a scenario. Tell me if it's true or false. President Biden has a Secret Service agent, the lead. You don't think he's talking to that lead agent and say, hey, look out for my boy? And don't you think that lead agent went, Mr. President, should we get him if he has drugs? Or do we let it go, sir? Do you think that conversation happened, Blaze? Blaze.
What?
Yeah,
Answer the question.
I'm thinking about the question, you fuck.
No,
come on.
Come on.
You don't need to think that long. Come on, let's go.
What's his daddy doing? Sending this head of the Secret Service guy to fucking to Istanbul to check on fucking Hunter?
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Hunter has probably a couple of agents guarding him at all times. Okay. Yes. Yes, I know that, Donnie. Yes. I don't think Blazeman does.
I understand that the family has a Secret Service detail.
Yes.
Yes.
So I understand that. Obama's
I'll
daughters
give you
had
blood.
Secret Service details at their school. I mean, we know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be willing to give up blood to tell you that, yes, that conversation happened in whatever private, non-bugged, nobody can hear type environment. That conversation happened, and another conversation from the head of Joe Biden's security detail went to the head of Hunter's detail, and they had that conversation too. And their answer is probably yes. Any parent would do that if they could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't knock you for that. Any parent would do that. I'm gonna say, because they're still your children when they're 40. It's still, you know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, once again, you say you deny it, but it's just so obvious that no, you knew. So twofold here. When are the Republicans gonna get on their high horse and get their investigation started for his impeachment? Plain and simple. Answer to that is either they'd rather have him in there than Kamala, because they can have a better narrative and they build themselves up for, you know, when it comes to the next presidential run, or, you know, I don't know what they're waiting on. What's the smoking gun they
But
want?
they're waiting on to see what the outcome is from November, from this
No.
coming November. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for that
No.
outcome.
I believe in that.
You can't
and
impeach
also-
the president if you don't have the numbers. So that's what they're
Right.
waiting for.
Yes, and that Biden,
Appreciate it.
the Hunter Biden investigation, that's going to determine a lot too.
Right.
And the Democrats better hope it does not get released before November.
Right. And that was the other part of my twofold. This investigation that he's been on for 3, almost 4 years now. Come on, man. How much more do you need?
Yeah.
What are you waiting on? Are you?
But you
if
gotta
it's
look
a
up-
political move, then it's a political move. But
No.
come on.
They're looking
You
at
got to
the
look up the Brazilian company, OAS. That's Hunter's new visionary that he's just
Okay, but once again,
I mean,
though,
he
when
did
it comes
this
to
in
Joe Biden-
2011 and 2012, but this all
Right.
jumps back to, again, Daddy knowing what his son
Right.
was up to.
Of course
yes.
we knew, because
Yeah.
how would it that articles and multiple articles, you know, CNN, on Fox, on the multiple platforms, so you get everybody's different view from far left to far right. There's reports out there that every time Hunter, when Joe Biden was VP, 90% of the time, almost every time Hunter met with some kind of bigwig international corporation or company and all this other stuff, hour to an hour and a half later, Daddy and Hunter were having a conversation, either phone or they were having dinner, they were meeting, they were doing something.
and Don
Don't know that if that's the pattern.
and shit, Donnie, in the White House too. They let a nice paper trail for the investigators. When you go into the White House, you sign in and you sign
Right.
out.
Right.
It's and who you're coming with and who you're gonna go see.
Right. And they got Hunter, somebody associated with Hunter, always coming to see Joe Biden on a specific timeline, a specific pattern. They can start, they're linking them together. That's what I'm saying. How do
Yes.
you put the articles together and you can link it together. You know, you don't need to be a lawyer. I mean, come on. What are you waiting on?
You know,
This is what pisses me off about politics in our nation right now, because depending on how much money or what political influence you have, you can do whatever the hell you want to do and you can get away with it. And that's how Hunter Biden feels. And it's going to cost Joe the presidency, like you said earlier, Demon.
Yeah, but Daddy knows some of the things that he's doing, and Daddy's involved. Daddy's involved.
shit, Blaze.
Again, D,
Shit.
you're in front of your computer when you get a chance. Look up the Brazilian construction company OAS. Okay, this is shit that's been going on since 2011 and 12 when Biden was vice president, all the way up until
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
And
I
on
know,
Hunter's on Hunter's laptop, there's emails between Hunter, his daddy, and the construction company owner or whatever, you know. And in one statement, Columbia, two wastewater treatment plants estimate to cost $380 million and $350 million at a $1.8 billion hydrophonic power plant and a $3 billion upgrade to the Bogota subway system This is the New York Post's article, and he's sitting there and he's saying how we're gonna be rich. It's right here.
Exactly.
We're gonna
So
be
that's
rich.
And that's why Hunter's he's going to get possible charges of foreign lobbying violations because he's using Daddy's name and Daddy's position to influence contracts and get contracts awarded to him. Hey, you can't do that when you're Daddy's VP of the nation. You can't do that.
Right.
Man.
He's gonna right now.
Daddy do?
Right now, the federal prosecutor is going after Hunter Biden on tax, foreign lobbying, and gun-related violations as the investigation reaches a critical stage. According to this is a Fox News article, but the other article I just read for the record is by CNN. So, and this one is by CNN too. So the evidence keeps piling up. Joe Biden lied about his family's foreign influence, peddling schemes that reaped tens of millions of dollars for his son and brother. Let's not forget his brother being involved in some of this stuff, and potentially put at risk Americans' national security.
You're talking Joe Biden's brother, not deceased Beau Biden, correct?
Right, talking about Joe Biden Sr., his brother.
Yeah, he's dirty too.
What?
Yeah, the whole family's dirty.
Yes.
Sorry.
But we can't sit here and have this conversation and try to deflect anything that Hunter's doing that Daddy didn't know about. And
Blaze, you said the key word. No, listen.
Yes.
No, Blaze, you said the key word, deflect. Let's go back to Trump's time, right? When he got that first, and they tried to impeach him was for the phone call, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it with Ukraine? Wait a minute now. And didn't Biden have a little a sourpuss? Oh shit, man. We got a caller. Hey, caller. No, I'm joking. Fuck, dude. Where was I at?
Biden was getting dirty when he was trying to get running for president. This is when it was coming out. But Hunter was on the board for some energy company. Yeah. We all talked about Joe Biden was tasked as a VP. Obama tasked him to go to Ukraine and try to make sure when Russia annexed Crimea and all that was going on, he was tasked to go do that.
And then they came up with that.
Well.
And that impeachment on Trump, that was to deflect all that other bullshit. I got to give it to you, man. Them Democrats, they know how to set up a damn coup.
No, they could politic their ass off. I'm not going to give them that because they won this last one. But the fact remains that at what point you persecuted Donald Trump for some of this same stuff. Pelosi and the other one from California that was telling about getting up in people's faces and getting rowdy. She wears the cowboy hat. Damn it. But she was talking all kinds of trash about Trump, and all these other people talking all this trash about Trump and his family dealings and this and that. They were ready. They tried to impeach him twice for some of this crap. When is it going to be Joe Biden's turn?
I think it's coming.
But the other part of it too, though, is at what point is somebody going to realize this is two administrations in a row where the nepotism just demolishes any kind of productivity in the White House. It just kills it. So when are we going to change some laws so this doesn't occur? I'm sorry, man. That's just crazy to me. Because this is 8 years in a row we've seen it just destroy our country, and look where we're at. We get nothing done in Congress now because all they do is point fingers. When are we going to wake up and change some of the laws?
Well, didn't Blaze's stepdaddy, President Trump, you notice I said president before I said Trump. That's the proper way. Oh shit, I forgot what the hell. I forgot the punchline. Son of a bitch.
whatever, Demas.
No, man.
No,
Well,
but it's
listen.
the same shit.
No, and and just to sum it up, man, it's nepotism, man. And that's all it is, and you're seeing at its highest level, man. At its highest level. With corruption.
It's all corruption. The whole fucking
Yeah.
thing is dirty. It's been dirty since he was vice president. This has been going on. Okay? This has been going on since he's been vice president. Again, just they thought the article in the New York Times was going to be, bad for Hunter. That was the reason for the phone call from Daddy, and he was like, "Oh, look, don't worry about it." I'm emphasizing, but he's like, "Well, don't worry about it, son. The article is kind of better than what we thought it was going to be. You're in the clear."
Yeah.
Exactly. That word right there. You're in the clear. I think you're in the clear. That meant I don't think anybody's going to come after you, and legal wise, you're good to go. That's what that really meant. Legal wise, you're good to go. Nick Gabe can't come after you.
I don't know, man. The shit that I'm reading here, it's linking as far as
Hey.
the CEFC and its Chinese military linked chairman, who had disappeared in China 3 months after his lieutenant Hu was arrested at JFK Airport on bribery charges. I mean,
Right.
where do you want to take this? Because it's here. The only
Right,
thing that we don't have up to the point right now is well, some of it I have is the shit that was in Hunter's his laptop. And the most damaging part is the emails with Daddy taking pictures with these fucking dudes, and conversations between Daddy Hunter and these guys that are, trying to, make money and all of that stuff like that.
But that just goes to show the corruption of our political system, from your little local mayor all the way up to the White House. It's corrupt everywhere. Take, for example, since this year already, 66 Congress people have violated what they call it?
Oh, fuck. I was just looking at that when we talked about the AOC.
They violated
getting
a law to prevent insider trading and stop conflict of interest. It's something
Yeah.
with the New Trading Stock Act of 2018 or some crap like that. I can't remember exactly. But
Right.
66 of them have violated that already this year. 66. What's being done to them? Probably not a damn thing.
Nothing.
They need to do a report right or whatever. And then you got Pelosi and her family.
Right. Go ahead. It's public knowledge of Pelosi's husband. You know what I mean? They're flaunting it out there in front of the fucking world to listen to this, and not a damn thing is being done. Nobody's saying a word. And getting back to the fucking Republicans, they're just sitting on their hands.
Right.
They're just,
what can be done? But check, Blaze, what can be done? Let's think about that really honestly. What can be done to change the laws? Because the same jackasses and all Pelosi and her family, there's like 3 judges. 2 are the Fed chair from Boston and the Fed chair from Dallas. They resigned because they got caught making federal policy and then turning around or buying, trading mortgage stocks, mortgage securities. Then they turn around and they make federal policy on those industries.
But yeah, after they get what they want,
judges.
right?
Yeah. So that corruption doesn't just run up in Congress. It's in our court system. They got another like 13 or 14. Once a company went into their courtroom, they traded that company's stock or they bought more. You have a direct influence on that company with that decision. How can you go and not say, I have a conflict of interest? I cannot see this case. I can't adjudicate this case because I own stock in that company.
Yeah.
But no, don't do it. What? Now we're finding out about the judges. Now it's down at that level.
I want to hear the first dumbass
61.
Congresswoman AOAC say, "Oh, where are we gonna make our money now? you get paid $172,000 a year. Make damn plenty much money. She's got nice looking booty for a Latino.
What do you,
Yeah,
what
that
do you
dumbass.
think? What do you think that she? Can anybody tell me like real quick of anything that she's done so far?
Nothing.
Nothing
Nothing.
really.
You know,
But-
you know what's going to reelect her?
You
In
know
my opinion,
what's that?
is
The
what
son?
she just did. Is what she just did.
Yep.
Is what she just got arrested for.
No, she didn't.
The-
She got detained.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I'm just telling
Hey,
you.
Hey,
You
but
don't
you know
think that
something?
was a political stunt? You don't think that was a
Hell yeah, it
political
was.
stunt?
Fuck yeah, bro. Everybody knows that.
Everybody
Everybody
knows
knows that. But wait,
But-
but wait a minute. Let me real quick, Donnie. Just one thing. You know, AOAC, man, she's pretty good at what she does. She's the Donald Trump of the Republican Party. And what
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Donald Trump Trump would have jumped all over that just like her. Trump would have done everything just like her. Yes, they're entertainers, bro. They know how to switch on.
I don't understand
Come
what you
on,
mean
coming
by
down a
Trump would have did the same thing that she did. I don't understand.
Yes, dude.
He-
Yes.
he-
Not. Go ahead, Donnie.
Nah, Blaze, what he's saying is Trump took his moments too, where he could go perform and run up the crowd and run up some votes. AOC knows when to do it. They all know when to do it.
Yeah, I
That's a
understand that
political
way.
tool. I mean, I get it. But AOC knows how to drum up that court. That she can drum up the, everything. She can get everybody excited over a green movement, and she can sway people. People, they attract to her.
Right, and
I mean, they
hardcore
come to her,
politicians,
but-
politicians really don't think that way. You know where she learned all of that, right? Fucking bartending and then talking to
Whatever, man.
fucking people on the
Whatever.
streets and shit like that. You know,
Wherever
She's like, I know
politicians
what-
learn
she
they
goes-
learn.
yeah, she's like, I know what's gonna move these people. Let me go fucking
Yeah.
sit in traffic. You know, who else got busted? Omar got busted.
Right. But
Omar
that
started
was a
walking away
stunt.
before they even told people, all right, you're being detained or whatever, So wait a minute now. That just caught me again. You said she was being detained. It was stated that she was arrested with the rest of them. So what did they do?
Right.
Change that to her being detained because there's a possibility of her being impeached from her job if she was
No.
arrested?
No.
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 They probably, because the demeanor, they're like, oh, we're just gonna, the prosecutor, he's like, I'm not gonna waste my time on this, so we're just gonna remove this down to detained, and we're gonna go from there, because the dark money group funded by billionaire George Soros probably had a little influence there to say,
Yeah.
hey, come on now, this is my smart people that gotta run. I can't have
Right.
them behind bars. I gotta be out there yelling. So all that
Right.
influence came into effect.
So listen,
Come
we'll
on,
leave
man.
it up to the listeners and everybody else
I'm with you.
that listens to these stories, and and all we could do is give everyone our opinion and report how we think things are floating around. And as far as I'm concerned, daddy and son should be heavily investigated. And I fully believe what Mr. D said, that President Biden can use in his case and say, I'm a little fucking retarded. So, you can't arrest me. I don't know what I'm doing. But with that being said,
go.
listen, hey, we're going to come back with a weather weapon, a real live weather weapon. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the military controls the weather. Okay. And we'll come back with some factual statements that this bullshit's been going on since 1970. So stick around for more to Rabbit Hole, and we'll be right back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, and welcome back to the Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. But before we get into this weather weapons, and it's called HAARP, HAARP. Before we do that, Donnie has a quick statement that he wants to end our last segment off into it. So, Donnie, you have the floor, pal.
Let's lose the flip side of what we just talked about. Look at the other side of the coin, and thank the media for a change. Because if they would have been out doing the headlines to get our attention, and now that more people are paying attention and they're reading, they're listening, you can see how far the just the dirty, corrupt, everything goes far, how far back it goes. So hopefully, now that we know, we'll make better choices about who we put in there, and these politicians are seeing it too. So they got to do a better job. They got to start doing a better job. They got to clean up their act. So you got to look at it that way too. It could lead to some good things. So
Absolutely.
Whether
With that being said, get sec, gotta reload.
what the hell? All right, whatever, man.
All right, we're here, bro.
The menu.
Little reload. All right, so I'd like to start out on this segment with an 8-minute video that's going to explain to us and to our listeners about all right, what are we listening to here?
That's not me.
Oh, my bad. I was trying to turn it down. That was the video on your harp thing.
Oh,
Go
okay.
for it, Blaze. Go for it.
All right, sorry. Okay, I knew I was hearing something. So, anyways, give the Blaze Man a second, guys. If you can talk about how your lunch was today, that'd be great.
No,
I'm not talking about lunch.
for that act,
Mm-mm. No.
I'm gonna send Donnie the award via
Award
the
for what?
phone.
Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. I was reading up on this thing, but
Look
let's talk about what we got. No, for real. Let's talk about what we got.
Look at your phone, fool, real quick, and receive your award.
Man.
Attention to orders.
Yeah. Hands. No, there was something we were going to bring up earlier. Damn it. What was it?
LGBTQ.
Oh, no. Are we really going to go down there?
No, guys,
Well,
I got it. I got it. It's ready to go.
It took you
I
long enough.
appreciate it. Yeah. No, it got me right to that point real quick. I'm trying to.
No, but let's talk real quick what I read earlier. The
Go
U.S.
ahead real quick.
used
Go
it.
ahead
No,
real
the
quick.
U.S. used this strategy in Vietnam. They used it in Vietnam. It was called Operation Popeye. They were shooting silver iodide in the clouds so it'd make it rain more so they could control troop movement. They could slow down resupplies. It rained 30% more in certain areas of Vietnam by them doing it. It's been a weapon for a while. The UK was trying to do it a century ago. We use it for farming. We use it for other things. So this thing's been around for a minute now. It's not.
It's been out. D, you got to help them out, some man. It's been
No.
out.
No, but look
It's
at
been
this.
out since 1970, right?
Right. They were using it in '68 in Vietnam. They were using it. They were controlling the weather. They have the stats to show where it rained more. They use that silver iodine. China's doing it over there in the Tibet region because they want more rain so they can produce more water. It's just they're trying to mess with the ecosystem. But then we want to holler, and everybody wants to holler about climate change. Yes, climate change happens. It's a natural thing. The dramatics, you want to blame it on all the gas engines, but how about we blame it on the crap we're doing too with all the pesticides and this kind of crap we're throwing in the air to see what it does? Do you not think that it would do something? It would change things? I mean,
No, and
no.
I know which way you want to go. Well, let me go the way you're going down right now with this climate change stuff. I personally, I don't think we're at that dire stage, 6, 8 years. We got to make these drastic changes, but they are needed, though. They are definitely needed. And again, I'm not trying to be President Biden and sell you an electric car. We need to transition to this.
Right, but
You know,
we
we,
could we
no,
could
we,
transition, Demas, but this we got to prepare ourselves as well. What about the waste that this new version of America is going to create? What do we do with it?
Donnie, and all I'm speaking for is I'm 56 years old. I recognized weather when I was 10 years old with the blizzard of 78. And I've just seen the weather patterns of the world. It always fascinated me, weather. And I do believe one thing they do say, we are a little bit hotter.
Yes, we
And
are.
and I'm not talking just El Paso. I'm talking other regions within the United
Yes,
States and
yes,
Europe and all that other stuff.
right. And that's part of our own fault with all the concrete and everything. And we keep stripping trees and greenery and building up apartment complexes. We keep going taller. Yes, that's partly our fault. I'll give you that. But I want to see more people hammering about climate change, or hey, what are you guys actually doing? What are the long-term effects of all this shit you've been doing, throwing in the air since 1970? Don't let's be honest now. It's not just the gasoline car down the street.
No,
It's
no,
a whole
Roger.
lot of other things too. Let's look at everything.
And you're talking about the magnetic waves coming off them weather stations.
That you got radars like the what we use in the military. They
Yes,
emit
sir.
some serious. You get in front of one of those, it'll burn you. I mean,
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at everything now, and we can. What the hell is Blaze doing? He ain't concentrating. Come on, Blaze. Whatever, man.
I'm listening.
No, I'm just telling you. I mean, look at old times. Weather was always a weapon, even back in the like the Vikings, the show Vikings. Remember the Vikings? They went to pillage in the spring and fall, summer. They went back home, fall, parts of winter, right?
Yes, sir.
The ice
Yeah,
melts.
man.
Guess what? The ships were in the water. We were going to pillage. Then we come home. I mean,
No.
it's always been a factor.
Yes,
So,
sir.
I mean, let's not sit around here and talk like it's something new. It's just, once again, thanks to some media and everybody involved, we're just being smarter and we're seeing more.
I totally agree, Donnie, and that's with technology. But so why can't we find this technology at the pace of what's the word I'm looking for? The crawl, walk, run phase. Why
Yeah.
why does just like with the electric car? Why does Biden want to crawl and skip the walk phase and go right to run?
The
This is
money.
why. Yeah, but who's going to profit for the money, Donnie? I mean,
Oh,
D- Donnie, if I was an electric vehicle maker, I would be all over Biden's staff, all over them, starting with the Secretary of Energy,
hell
because
yeah.
this sector right now, if they need money for a band-aid, the government will give it to them.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
But don't forget, during Biden's vice presidency, a- and could this be tingling in his brain? I tried this with Barack. We couldn't get it done. Let me try it now. Because they did try it, him and Obama, President Obama, with Solyndra. And you remember that company. And we talked a little about it last show. We couldn't think of the name.
Yeah.
Yep. All went to shit. Taxpayer money, man.
Yeah,
So
it went to shit.
So
Okay.
again, I'm bringing that question back. So if you said money, who's going to get the money? What is it? A sector? Is it a group? Is it individuals?
Well, that's where the lobbyists come into play. That's what determines that, the lobbyists.
Yeah,
So I couldn't tell you who's going to get all the money. I don't know the industry like that. I can't tell you that. But I can tell you that if you go follow the lobbyists and who's the big lobbyist, look on Biden's donation rosters or the Democratic National Convention, the DNC, look at their donor list. Oh, you'll find who's going to benefit the most.
Oh, and you'll
Right there.
you see Blaze's name there, and I'm not going to address
Probably
his
so.
last name. Yep, under the Democratic,
Probably
giving
so.
out all them pennies that him and
Yeah,
Miss
but that's
Tammy's
where
been
that-
saving. Oh shit!
Chairman,
Here
thank
we
you
go.
to all of you this morning. Very interesting. I wanted to ask a couple questions here about HARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Several of you at the table have a little bit of a piece here. As you know, this is located up in Alaska. It's currently funded by the Air Force Research Lab. It was formerly funded by the Office of Naval Research. One of the prime customers is DARPA, which is currently running experiments at the facilities here. So questions to several of you this morning. I'm told by the president of the University of Alaska that the Air Force has pulled its support for the facility, and they're taking steps to demolish it or take it down this summer. He's making the argument that there is other opportunities for us, and is trying to find a path where the university might be able to take title to the facility. I'd like to start with you, Dr. Prabhakar. I understand that a lot of folks here on the committee probably don't understand what HARP does. I think most Alaskans don't really know what HARP does or why the agency is involved in it. So a very brief explanation, and then a more direct question. Would you be disappointed or would you lose something if HARP were to go away?
Senator Murkowski, as I think you know, one of our programs has been using the HARP facility for the research that it's pursuing. And my understanding is that we did get value out of that interaction. The P in DARPA is projects, and we're not in the business of doing the same thing forever. And so very naturally, as we conclude that work, we're going to move on to other topics. So it's not an ongoing need for DARPA, despite the fact that we had actually gotten some good value out of that infrastructure in the past.
Understood. Then to Dr. Walker and Mr. Schaefer, then, Dr. Walker, your agency is currently running the facility. I've mentioned that it's our understanding through the president of UAF that the plans are to move forward and demolish the facility this summer. So the question to you is that accurate? Can you explain why? And then perhaps to both you and Mr. Schaefer, is there any benefit in exploring a potential relationship with the University of Alaska to perhaps take over the HARP?
Yeah, thank you, Senator. The Air Force has gotten great value out of HARP in the past. We took over from the Navy and managed it and actually did a number of experiment campaigns up there and have finished our work that we're interested in doing up there. We've moving on to other ways of managing the ionosphere, which the HARP was really designed to do, was to inject energy into the ionosphere, be able to actually control it. And but that work has been completed. The Air Force has maintained the site for other government agencies to use for several years now. And with DARPA completing their project, that's our last government customer that we have in the site. We have put out a call government-wide for other agencies that had interest in managing the site or taking it over, and including going out to academia and seeing if there was any interest there. We have gotten interest from the university in Fairbanks. However, the interest we have is that they will run it if we fund it, which is unfortunately in this fiscal environment we're in right now, this is not an area that we have any need for in the future and don't see that it would be good use of Air Force S&T funds in the future. So our position has been that if there's not somebody who wants to take over the management and the funding of the site, then the Air Force has no future need, and that we do plan to do a dismantle of the system in the future after we make appropriate notifications.
When you say in the future, do you anticipate that it would be this summer then, or would there perhaps be more more time for the
They
university to try to figure something
oftentimes
out.
of
We would prefer to
lizards
start this
are
summer.
resilient.
We would like to get the critical equipment out of the site before the winter. The harsh winter in Alaska does lead to a very costly winterization to maintain the site, and we'd like to avoid that if we can.
Okay, Mr. Schaefer, if you have any comments on that?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm torn on this. My background is as an atmospheric scientist, and I think the facility is just a world-class facility. That said, we've worked very hard with the Air Force, with the Office of Science and Technology Policy over the last 18 to 20 months to find another sponsor for this, because it really, as you've heard the other people at the table, we, the department, have gotten the research value out that we need for the facility. We've also worked with University of Alaska Fairbanks to get some other person to pick up the long-term, just pure scientific research that HARP offers the promise of. But with all the other issues and problems and challenges facing the department at this time, we just don't see that investment over a long-term period is where we would prioritize our investment. So we've been working with other agencies, trying to get agencies like National Science Foundation, Department of Commerce, who run National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, to pick up the HARP facility. No one else wants to step up to the bill, ma'am.
Well, so nobody else wants to step up to the bill because that piece right there, that video was when it was brought in front of Congress because, like Donnie said, that meeting right there was about putting all of those acts into, well, you know, you can't use it as a weapon. You can't do this and you can't do that. And at the time, the U.S. Air Force was like, yeah, but you know, we wanted somebody else, another college or company or whatever, to take over it and all that stuff like that. Do you think that the government, the United States Air Force, is at any point using this as a weapon? And all this climate change bullshit. Oh, now we have more hurricanes than we did before. Oh, now there's more tornadoes than we did before. Dee's statement just a little while ago. Oh, it is getting a little warmer over here. You know what I mean? You know, the fucking weather and the climate's been changing since we started recording weather and temperatures. The climate has been changing. Okay. So, okay, it hasn't been hit 100 degrees in the Massachusetts area, in the South Coast area, in like 40 years. Oh, well, guess what? It did. Does that supposed to mean anything? Or are they using this weapon to help facilitate their actions on climate change? So, you know, there's money to be passed around. Just in general like that. Any takers?
So, on the unit itself, the HARP, and you had the Navy was the owner of it, and then the Air Force was the owner of it. you when you have something like this in the government, there is funding that happens, and it always blew my mind in the Army. Like a fort, you will have a unit there, but that unit is paying rent to the main fort of that building, of where they get the monies from the Pentagon. You understand what I mean? So this site here was costly to run, because whatever program was going to get it in their budget, they probably didn't have enough to cover it, and that's the problem. What I'm seeing now, do they use it? I I I don't think they use it as a mass weapon of destruction, or a I don't know, a teaser of trajectory when it comes to missiles or anything like that. I don't see it. Um, man, Donnie,
So
can you help me
the
out?
only thing, no, that Operation Popeye they did in Vietnam, that's about as far as the U.S. government done it as a weapon. That's as far as it's gone.
Right.
For it,
They attacked the
and what
Philippines with it.
right, China's doing what they're doing with their instruments. I don't think China's doing it for a weapon piece right now. I think China, if they had the opportunity, or if they saw a need for it, they would do it. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that are investigating it. Hence, like that HARP thing that shot lasers out and to heat up stuff and within the atmosphere and watch it. If that happened, then we just blame ourselves for the environment we're in right now because we made it change in a way that wasn't natural. It just doesn't naturally change because climate change is going to happen no matter what. That's how you explain how we went from dinosaurs to ice age to this to that and how the world evolved. But we do it to ourselves that way. Are some people trying to weaponize it? Wouldn't doubt me a bit because throw this scenario out when it comes to that rain. If I can control the weather and I can make a storm hit with a lot of lightning, guess what I do to you? I take out communications. I restrict movement because you're not going to go out there tromping through the woods when there's lightning. And if you are, you're running the risk because guess what? Electricity runs real smooth on water. And if I can flood you and put you in a foot of water, I mean, that's a serious weapon right there. Go, Demon.
So you're
No,
right.
no,
And go
no,
ahead. No, go
no,
ahead.
no, you go ahead, there, producer, owner. I won't
So-
forget this.
So they did all of that before, prior to the Geneva Convention, and the United States used weather warfare in Vietnam under of the Air Weather Service. The United States Operation Popeye used cloud seeding over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, increasing rainfall by an estimated 30% during 1967 and 1968. It was hoped that the increased rainfall would reduce the rate of infiltration down the trail. Now, cloud seeding and using this weather machine are two different things. Cloud seeding is sending the plane way up
Yes.
high into the atmosphere and just dropping what they need to manipulate the clouds to make rain. They also dropped salt on airfields to create fog back then too. So, I mean, this weather machine. I mean, what if they use this one time, guys, to create a fucking hurricane or whatever, and it gets out of fucking control, and you can't control it no more because we used it so many times that maybe we're in a climate change now, and the climate is so fucked up because we used that machine so many times.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I said
Blaze.
earlier, Blaze. Like we blame ourselves. But go, Demon.
Yeah, no, and shit, and this will carry on right on with Blaze. Everybody talks about electric cars, electric this, electric that. But I firmly believe, and I'm probably the biggest hypocrite of it. Aviation, it's what's killing the climate. And everybody has flown, and the heat that actually comes out of that motor when it hits that certain atmosphere where it turns into a mist because it's basically cooling off where it's going. Nobody says nothing about that or another way. And I'm glad they don't. Because if they were to shut the lanes on that in aviation, half of this world would starve. Half of it. And
Okay.
that's all I got, Donnie.
No, but they are doing something about it. I'll debunk that right now. It's called sustainable aviation fuel. They've been testing it the last decade, and they
And what
got
Go ahead, bro.
Basically, they changed the fuel, so when they do the emissions, it's cleaning up half that carbon. All that carbon it used to put out, guess what? It doesn't put out as many. They've already tested where they put one of the engines to run the sustainable aviation fuel in one engine, and the other one, they've tested it. They can get just as many miles, standard conditions like you would test an automobile. There's a little variances depending on what the situation is, but it gets just about the same amount of gas, miles per gallon, whatever you want to call it. So they can go with the same amount of fuel from Denver to LA or whatever, and they reduce half the emissions. It's already there. It's out there right now.
And what heat does it burn at? What heat?
I don't know.
That's what's killing the ozone. Donnie, look at it, man.
But I'm just saying, Demas,
Look.
you're saying that they need to get into the aviation industry with all the electric. Guess what, Demas?
No.
They're doing it.
No,
They are,
no.
Demas.
Yeah, but my ass ain't getting on one of them.
Okay, then you're gonna tell them they go there, but you want to get on one.
Hey, easy. Pump the brakes. Pump the
It's like a
brakes.
religion of
Pump
fact.
the brakes.
Shadows on the clouds.
Look to
is
the
this, Blake?
headlines in the
What the hell is
sky
this, Blake?
that captivate conspiracy theorists. Chemtrails. Followers convinced something evil and secret is going on.
See, and look at, it's got that pattern.
They believe the government or some shadow organization deliberately sprays chemicals to control our minds or to alter the weather.
Okay, I can hear you now. Why are we wasting time on this? Social media has become fertilizer for conspiracy. Recent surveys indicate 1 in 5 Americans believe in this theory. Now, science is just starting to confront it. So, what are the facts? Let's verify with our experts.
Dr. Jeffrey Forrest, Chair of Aviation and Aerospace Science at Metro State in Denver. Dr. Ken Caldera, atmospheric scientist and professor at Stanford. These are not government agents. They are scientists. That's verified. But first, Chris Zadnik of Denver. He's a believer.
So I could see a line in the sky.
Yes,
right
two
up
of
here
them,
right
yes.
now. So what do you think is going on up there right now?
They do tend to put them in front of the sun, which makes sense if they're trying to block sunlight.
What would you say is your strongest piece of evidence proving that chemtrails are real?
I think, I honestly, it might seem a little bit crazy that I literally have almost 400 videos.
1, 2, 3. X means death.
What do you think is going on up there?
Well, what they say is that this is sort of a desperate measure to counteract global warming.
Zadnik is quick to say he doesn't trust the government. Can you blame the guy? After all, our government doesn't really have the greatest track record when it comes to telling the truth. Agent Orange, the Tuskegee syphilis study, the human plutonium injection experiments. I can go on and on. That's the government. But what about science? Way back, this is a tight fit.
Okay, pilots and scientists are uncomfortable talking about chemtrails.
What is that white line in the sky behind a plane?
Well, the white line behind a jet is a natural process that goes on with the relationship between the aerodynamics of the aircraft and the atmosphere.
They won't even say that word. Scientifically, they're called condensation trails. Contrails for short.
So what you're really doing is you're sort of artificially generating a cloud.
It's like a long white cloud. That's essentially what it is.
That's right.
As jet fuel burns, it produces mostly water vapor. Picture my mouth like a jet engine. I know that sounds weird, but as I exhale, my breath contains a lot of water, so we'll see something like a cloud. Sounds simple, right? Let's get scientific.
Jet fuel is mostly kerosene, a hydrocarbon. When planes burn jet fuel, they produce exhaust. That exhaust is mostly hot water vapor. That also contains carbon dioxide, trace amounts of sulfur, nitrogen, microscopic metal particles, and carbon. The water vapor molecules like carbon, allowing the water in its gas form to collect into floating bits of liquid, or, because it's so cold, tiny ice crystals. That's condensation, when water vapor becomes a liquid or ice. And so you get a cloud, especially when the humidity and air temperature are just right. The higher level of humidity in the sky, the longer the water remains condensed. When humidity is really high, the trails look like a long cloud, which is why contrails appear in the sky for a while. winds can make them expand.
That is also, I think, part of the fear factor that some people hook themselves into, because they see a contrail being formed and then hours later it's still there, and sometimes it's growing.
So what we see up there is not the government intentionally putting chemicals into the sky for geoengineering.
No.
I don't know why people, they have a scientific or technical question, and instead of going to the scientists, they'll find some crazy website and believe what the crazy website says.
Perhaps the most convincing and highly cited scientific evidence comes to us from this study conducted by atmospheric scientist Dr. Caldera. Out of 77 top atmospheric scientists across the globe, 98.7% of them categorically rejected the existence of a secret spraying program. That one holdout was a guy in Alaska.
He didn't think, oh, that means there must be a secret government spraying program. He's saying, oh, look, once I got a sample and there was stuff in it that I couldn't explain.
There's no evidence whatsoever that proves a covert program is real.
I really want it to not be true.
Based on our highly credible experts and scientific approach to chemtrails, we can verify the chemtrail conspiracy is false.
All right, so there you have that. That answered some of your questions about the jetliners and fuel and stuff like that too, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
I knew one of them 1 in 5 guys, and we worked with them, Mr. Bork. Remember the yard? Not the warrant officer, but the NCO guy, the Hispanic dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he believed in that whole chemtrails, not contrails, chemtrails.
Well,
Yep.
we can say that, but you can look on here and go to Bill Gates and what he's playing with, and exactly somewhat similar to what they just showed. That's what he's playing with. And then you got from on science.com, geoengineering, they're getting closer to doing some balloon test, which would do basically what that said. It's called sun dimming. That's what they call it.
Where are
All
they
right,
doing
let's-
that in Washington?
No, Harvard University scientists are proposing a June 2021 test flight. Well, it didn't go back, but there's already people, they're looking into this, and they're looking into that idea of putting particles in the air to try to reflect the sun's light to get the warmth off our atmosphere. I read one article where there's some people, they're trying to do it's almost like when you shoot the cocks into when you're sealing something, you put that line down and then it expands. It's the same philosophy, but they're going to put it up in the air, and it'll supposed to be, go to the space dust or whatever that's with it, and it forms, and it'll help make a seal again where the holes are at, because apparently they have a better idea where the holes are now in our atmosphere.
With that being said, we'll continue this information about the weather weapon and weather and chemtrails and all of those fun things like that when we come back with the last half hour of the rabbit hole. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us, and we'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the last half hour of the Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Mr. Blazeman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donnie. So, I mean, where do we go with this weapon of the atmosphere and climate and stuff like that? I mean, I still think if I think it's fair to say we proved that we do have it, we do use it, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what if, again, like I stated a little bit earlier, what happens if they use this thing and something terribly goes wrong where we can't control it anymore? I don't know, just to say that for whatever reasons, if they use it over, Ohio, if they use it over Ohio one day to create like a fucking tornado or something, for whatever reason, I don't see what the purpose would be for them to do that. But, and then this thing goes out of control, and then all it does is just like whip up tornadoes all the time.
Blaze, I'll give you an example. It's not with weather, but weather constitutes what mankind messing with nature, right? I'll give you an example of that right now that we are still talking about, went through. It's called COVID. They were messing with that because there's physical proof out there that, yes, it was messing with it in the lab. We had Obama in the Obama administration and Dr. Fauci where they signed money to a Chinese company to mess with this crap. There's memorandums out there that told people don't mess with it. And guess what? We kept messing with nature and it got out. And look what happened. We went through all this COVID BS.
Touche.
That's what happens. That's what's going to happen. So
that coincides with the CERN. I mean, they keep.
Look at this. Look at this, though, Blaze. Think about it right now, because I would do this right now. Because I mentioned Bill Gates earlier, right? Billionaires. Yeah. Let's get real about money for a minute, because when you have billions and millions, hundreds of millions, there's only so many times you can ride the Lambo down to the beach or go on the jet ski or go fly off somewhere to go have this or that. That gets boring. Believe it or not, they get bored. So what do? They look for something to control. People are controlled. Diseases and other things, finding cures, it's a form of control. Well, the same thing with science. All these investors that go in science, because I'll be the first to admit, I'm one of them billionaires like Bill Gates. I'll give some crazy fool $100 million to go see if he can harness lightning. I want to see if you can do it. I got stupid money anyway. I got stupid money.
Unc will do it.
Do it, bro. I want to see if you can do it.
Come on, Unc.
Right? Give me 10 grand. I'll fly a fucking kite with a key on it. I'm good.
This is why we're at this point, because now they're entertained. That's part of the reason we're at the point we're in, and it's not. Hey, good for Bill Gates who made that kind of money, man. I'm trying to be that guy too, but
yes, sir.
The crazy ideas you see in movies and cartoons, there's some fool that with the brain and walks on two legs that had that idea, and they're trying to expand on it. So guess what? There's some bored rich kook with a lot of money that's interested in it too.
Yeah, the Jetsons. Right. Yeah,
so what do you deal? What do you think? So what do you think his deal is with buying up all this land and China and him buying up all this land in the United States?
Bill Gates said he's going to lease it back to farmers so they can keep farming or ranching or whatever. China's doing this because China's buying farmland because they don't have enough to grow for their amount of people.
Yeah, man.
But
yeah,
I got another opinion on that. We can go down.
But do you buy that?
No, because some of the land they're buying is next to a military base. We've already proven there's been people prosecuted for taking U.S. secrets and giving to China. They're just trying to get closer and get a better view from their satellite. I mean, come on, man. Right. Are we that dumb?
Right. And buying that farmland gives them longitude and latitude to say, okay, here's that base. Just go to our farmland, and that base isn't too far away.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But guess what else you can do with that? That's a weapon just the same. You can weaponize food. I can starve you out.
Yes.
Guess what? I don't give a shit about that wheat.
Oh,
it's coming this way. Oh, you want some? Guess what you're paying? I'm raising the roof on you. I'll break you one way or the other. You know what I mean? They're gonna stick it to you, and you ain't getting the reach
Hey,
around thing to take care of
Donnie,
you. It's getting tough.
Donnie, but hey, that war is coming though, and
Yeah.
I see it like in 100, 200 years. The way we're
again.
going, yeah.
Once again, though, how do we change that? We got to change the laws. That Mexico's got it great, because when I was getting ready to retire from the military, I was looking into going down there and buying property. Guess what? I can't buy property in Mexico. I'm not a natural born citizen. I can't. I might be able to somehow, after a work visa and some other stuff, get some land, but I'm never going to be able to own beachfront property because I'm not a natural born citizen.
But they can over here.
Right. But why don't we have a policy like that? You ain't
No.
buying U.S. land. And then why did we sell it to them? All these smart economic and financial people on these great committees, they make all this money. Why didn't we lease them the land? You lease them the land, that way you still control it. And if we get pissed off, we can say, China, get your ass out, and there you go. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Once again, why this administration is just
Laxy Daisy, man.
right. But how are we going to change the laws so this stuff doesn't happen again when the people that are doing it are the ones that make the laws? So where's our fix? It's just we just in a circle, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, but it's not a great point that you made, but it's a good topic for discussion. That will be a war, weaponizing food. Oh yes, Donnie, and especially and that's that comment I made. I was talking about aviation, how I think it's tearing up the climate, and because a lot goes through planes. There's countries that don't grow shit in this world,
Mm-hmm.
and rely on other countries that are more fortunate
Right.
on the weather pattern. You know, and that's why I say with aviation, you know, some of these countries don't even have a port. It's an airport, not a seaport.
Right.
No, Donnie,
Right, but that's another topic there. It'll get used because Russia was somewhat doing it already with Ukraine trying to hold out on wheat exports. They were trying to keep it for themselves because it was a tactic.
Yeah.
Don't say it wasn't. It was. If I disrupt you for even a couple of days, I disrupt your food supply, man, I create havoc. You know, you're fatigued. You can't work as hard. You can't. Guess when
Man,
I
you're
attack
hungry.
you? Maybe I attack you
Right.
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, no, Donnie.
Right. You're
Yeah.
hungry.
Right. And then I'm not paying attention. I mean, that's the ripple effect of it, as it can be used as tactics, what people use. It's just if we want to sit around in this world and think they're not using it, hell, politicians use it as a tool, as a weapon to sway votes, whether it's food supplies or shortages or what we talked about now, climate change, major events. They use it to swing votes. It's a tool for them. That's their
Well,
weapon.
If you listen to MIT, they had predicted that society will collapse in 2040 anyway. So, you know.
Well, it seems like we're going down that path because
I mean, it's going to be a little bit hard for China to come over here and get that food that they're farming. Good luck with that.
Donnie,
Right.
Donnie, would it be impossible or possible of us getting reinstated to active duty?
that is completely impossible, and use a fool if you want to try it. Ain't no kind of military good for me at this point. I'm too lazy. I'm too stubborn and hard headed. Hell no.
How about if your country needed you?
Okay, I'll be there, but man, that's going to be a dire need.
How about if it was coming from old Colonel Clark?
No,
If it-
Demas, no.
If it was, can you guys still be called?
I don't think so. It's a certain time limit, and I think after
Yeah,
that,
I
it's
think
not.
I think you're garbage. Yeah, Donnie, you can say it. We're garbage. Even the
Yeah,
army
no.
don't want us back.
Hell no, we're not fit for that anymore. There's no way
But
we're fit
Donnie,
for that, dude.
but Donnie, that's what it's telling you.
Man,
let's
Davis, if
let's
they installed a draft, I wouldn't make it past the physical. I wouldn't make it past the physical. That doctor would be like, hell no, get on out of here. Hell no. But
Oh
that's
shit.
where we're heading. And with all
Yeah.
the socialism stuff we're heading to too, because we slowly keep looking away at stuff and everything little by little be taken away. Because there's another, you got to look at what the Supreme Court's going to hear in their next session. There's some laws in there where liberties are being tested.
Right.
And we keep talking about, oh, we don't want, yeah, there's the far left that they want socialism. There's people in the U.S. that want that. And all these Democratic
It doesn't
races,
work
and then,
though.
Hey, but
But
let's educate them people that are in power that are trying that stuff. You know, for the viewers that don't know, like the Bernie Sanders.
yeah,
You know, the AOAC, the squad.
yes, right.
You
You're
know,
far left. You're extreme Democrats. You know,
but
from about halfway through back, those are the ones that want to do all this shit, that talk all this crap about we need to tax the rich. How much more do you want to take from them? Because let's look at all the jobs that they create with their business. You bitch about Amazon, but how many fulfillment centers are working over 1,000 people
Right.
yeah,
every other day?
Right.
So let's look at what other employers, they got to pay a tax for, what is it, which one is it where they got to match? I can't remember. Is it FICA or something like that?
401k.
No, they got to match taxes because they take 6.5% of ours and then 6.5% of theirs or some craziness like that.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
there's a tax that gets split between what they take from us and what they take from an employer. They pay those taxes, the property taxes on that big old warehouse building, depending on where it's at. I mean, that's more taxes they're paying within the county.
Yes,
you know, and in the jobs, how much more money is being spent in that community now that they got jobs there where they maybe didn't?
Well, AOAC.
I mean, come on now.
AOC. Oh, big booty Latina girl from Alex Stein,
Right.
99. You know,
Right.
she got Amazon out of one of her boroughs. I can't remember which
Right.
one it was.
Right. And there were some videos out there after that. There were some people pissed off because
Yeah, they
that
was
was a lot
crying.
of jobs that went in there that they needed.
No shit. There was
But-
They
crying.
needed those jobs.
So how do they get that? How does she get a vote like that? And
I don't know. I don't know up there because the people that want her in office outnumber the people that don't. That's the only way I can explain it. But you got to understand from the far left, when they keep talking about the government do this, government healthcare, that has to be funded. If you take away jobs and you take away big business because you tax the living shit out of them and they take their business elsewhere, then how are you going to generate the funds to do these social programs? You're not going to have any money. And if you keep taking out loans with our unsecured debt, you keep releasing that, letting that get out to, public for bonds from, anybody in the U.S. to other countries to buy. That's how China and everybody else just keeps owning more of America because that's how we fund it. That's how people got to understand more of how does funding created. That's why I want that life skills class. I was talking about taxes at a county, state level. They need to understand how they generate tax revenue. Not all of it's bad.
Most people don't care to understand that. Most people just
Right.
want to fucking go to work, raise their family, try to take their family out to dinner, and they're just trying to want to live a good life. You know what I mean? They're not fucking concerned about that.
Hey, Donnie, but also we talk about the far left, and I'm guilty of this too. Don't forget the far right. We got our idiots too, man.
Oh, of course. Ted Cruz is one of them.
Taylor Greene, the chick
Yeah,
from she's trash. The one that really killed me was the kid in the wheelchair who was paralyzed from waist down out of North Carolina. He beat a Democrat, and
Oh, yeah.
he was a perv, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But he was young. he was young and he was flashy, and at the time,
Yes.
he said the right things to get there. But yeah, he turned out
Yes.
to be a perv. And then when he got in trouble and he got censored by his party because he was flapping his gums a little too much, then he gets all sensitive, gets offended, and starts spilling beans out in public. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Well, that's a child
that
for
you
you.
broke. Right. You elected a child, and we as a society we're doing that more and more. But
But
that
see-
dude that will he broke the locker room rules, bro. You know, that's what he did.
You're right.
So Major, that Majority Green lady, whatever her that one that she, I don't understand why she hasn't been censored, and because some of the stuff she's been saying is just downright outlandish and just
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Where's she from? Where's she from?
I want to say it's South
Um,
Carolina, but I don't think that's right.
No, I think it's Georgia.
Let me
It's
let me
Georgia.
try to look it up.
But anyways, there's another one
Yeah.
while you're bringing that up, and I just forgot. And son of a gun, who you looking up right now, Donnie?
That Majority Green, she is a whatever.
Yeah, it's
What the
Georgia.
hell? Yeah, what overview? Is it
No,
Georgia? But
that's
anyways, there's a couple other dummies. Ted Cruz, he's another one.
No.
And there's so many of them people that are so out of touch with how that reality actually works that it just makes me wonder how the hell can we actually survive as a government with this kind of craziness. I just don't understand it.
Please.
But the money, follow the money, and you'll understand it maybe.
And that's Donnie. What I want to talk to Blaze about is, I just
Georgia.
God, man, shit.
What? The dirty politicians that we have? But we
No,
have dirty
man.
business leaders too. What?
No. To do a topic on the show, man.
know.
No, we'll talk after the show. We're almost
Yeah.
done.
But
Yeah. No, that
I'm
was a
just-
good point, Donnie.
Just go back to the corruption. I mean, she talks all that trash about AOC, and AOC talks trash about her. But if they would look in the mirror, they're looking right at each other, basically. Just
And-
different facial recognition, but it's the same because they both do the same stuff. Just talk all this madness, and all it does is create more confusion or more what they try to use on Trump right now, inciting violence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what they do.
And there's another one, this Boebert girl. She's out of
Oh.
Colorado.
Yes, the gun
Yes,
lady. Yeah,
yes.
she rode her horse and had her gun. That's
Stop,
great. That's
Stop,
Yeah.
stop, man.
good. But that goes
Right.
back to understanding who we're voting in, because I'm guilty of it. I never voted because I was like, it doesn't matter. That's commander in chief. I gotta do what the hell they tell me anyway, right? Never
Okay.
paid attention, didn't care. And then lately it's always they're all corrupt. So what does it matter which corrupt one goes in there? I'm gonna get the shaft anyway either. So I don't vote. So I'm my own hypocrite here, and I need to vote. I need to pay more attention. It's something I just despise.
That's
but-
something that we can
That's
we
what
can
we
hold
gotta pay
this
attention to,
conversation
though.
next week. We can
Yes,
hold this
sir.
conversation next week on Rabbit Hole. Like to thank everybody that tuned into tonight's show. Like to thank you, gentlemen, for participating again and just spewing some good knowledge around. And we hope that some of our listeners take some of this to consideration and maybe look up some of the things that we talked about. And I just want to say, we'll see you next Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on FFN Network, Blaze Man Media. And we'll give our boys a few seconds to say good night to everybody. And Mr. D, you're up.
Thank you, Blaze. Donnie, thank you. I really wish we would have stood a little more on the Hunters thing. I know you were pounding some stuff out, Donnie. I just wanted to get a little more of what you had. No, and thanks to the viewers. All we are is three middle-aged guys. We like talking politics around the bar and just trying to have fun. And my final thoughts, please, parents and grandparents, let's watch out when it comes to pills, especially the fentanyl pill that's coming off this border here in Mexico. called fentanyl. And just tell your kids one pill is one kill, and we don't need that. That's all I have, Blaze.
Donnie.
I just want to say thanks to everybody viewing, listening. Appreciate y'all letting me keep doing this. Let's invest in ourselves and back in America, like that childhelp.org. That's a code that gets it to a certain location. But if you can just go on there and help them out, let's invest in our kids. I mean, that's our future. So maybe we invest in them now that we won't have it. You know, we got to do something. So just if you can do something positive, think good, and just see y'all next week. Appreciate you, man.
All right. And again, from myself to all of you, have a pleasant night. Be kind, take care of one another. And like Mr. Donnie just said, go and check out childhelp.org. Okay. Use the code up on your screen right now. And, you know, if $20 gets a kid a new backpack with tons of things that he or she might need, then it's $20. You know, you probably buy 4 scratch-off tickets or some shit with that money. You know what I mean? You're not even thinking about what it could do for a child. So again, go to www.childhelp.org and use code JM98214 and see if you can help these kids out with that. And with that being said, we will talk to you all next week. And thank you, Miss Tammy, for saying it was a great show tonight. Peace and love to each and one of you out there, and catch us next Thursday from 7 to 9, right?